Hey, it's the Core Gameplay, and today we are going to take a look at a gear guide. We're going to take a look at each attribute rolled on certain pieces of gear. First, we are going to take a look at the attributes that roll on all of the gear pieces. So we are going to get the mask, the chest piece, the holster, the backpack, the gloves, and the knee pads. So the first attribute that can roll on all the pieces is crit hit chance. You can get this on any piece of gear. So if you want to build the crit build, it's quite easy to get. Just make sure you get your crit chance roll on all of your gears and you should be able to reach the cap, which is 60%. The second gear roll that can go on all your pieces is skill power. If you want to build a skill power build, then you should be able to do it quite easily and get to the cap. This is usually my attribute that I go for first on most of my builds if I have a build. But skill power is quite useful to activate your skills. So definitely go for this if you want a little bit more utility in your build. Otherwise you can roll anything else that you want to. But it does come on all your stuff, so you will probably have a little bit of skill power in your build. The third attribute that you can roll on all your builds is health. This is why health is so helpful in most of your builds for making you tanky, is because the health can roll on all of your pieces. You can roll on the mask, the chest, the holster, the backpack, and the gloves, and the knee pads. So health is definitely the best way to tank yourself up, because armor doesn't roll on all your pieces. Secondly, for the health is health percentage. Now this can almost roll on all your pieces. It can only roll on the mask, chest piece, holster, backpack, gloves. The knee pads doesn't have health percentage because armor can roll on that one. So definitely the health percentage isn't that helpful since you don't get an extra armor boost. When you equip the gear, you get like extra armor just from the gear itself. So health is too little sometimes to roll health percentage unless you run a certain gear set, then you get it for free. But health percentage isn't that helpful, but when you have a lot of it, obviously you will gain more from the percentage. Then we get skill cooldown reduction. This also doesn't go on all your pieces. It only comes on the mask, the holster, the backpack, and the knee pads. Skill cooldown reduction helps with your cooldown of your skills, so you will get them a lot faster. This is also something I run frequently since I like to have my skills on a low cooldown, but sometimes I just opt for skill power since I can get mods that has like 30% cooldown reduction and I can use it on anything I want. Plus you get some yellows to activate on the ropes if you want to run a double yellow. Since I think you can get on your mask a skill power and a skill cooldown reduction for on the ropes to help with that. But yeah, just check that. And then we get armor, the armor attribute. This is quite valuable to get since it only comes on 3 pieces of gear. You get it only on the chest piece, the backpack, and the knee pads. So when you look for armor, just know it's quite valuable to get if you're not running a clutch build, I think, to get the health pack. Then make sure you get your armor pieces since you don't get it a lot. This is actually my favorite attribute. I always look for this except for weapon damage, but we'll get to that one in a minute. Now armor percentage. You can also get armor percentage. It's quite helpful if you have like one piece of it. I usually go for the knee pads, but it does roll on the chest piece and the backpack as well. But yeah, go for it on the knee pads. I think it goes up till 12% maybe. But yeah, go for that. If you want some extra armor, go for percentage. I don't think you should go for it on your chest since you can get quite a lot. But if you have like a roll for it and you equip it and you see you have more, then obviously go with that. Crit hit damage also only rolls on a couple of pieces. You can only roll on your chest, your holster, and your backpack. Obviously crit damage. If you have a crit chance and you crit, you will do more damage with your crits. Quite easy to explain. Now for weapon damage. This is my favorite, and it can only roll on 2 pieces. It can only roll on your chest piece and your backpack. So always make sure you go for this. If you don't have it, then you kinda limiting your damage potential, since the headshot damage will scale off weapon damage. So always go for this. Even your crits I think will scale from this, but I'm not sure. But obviously weapon damage will be your base where you start off, and if you add other things it will multiply with that. Then we get armor regeneration, which you only get on 2 pieces. You will get it on the gloves and the knee pads. Hazard protection, you can only get it on 2 pieces. You used to be able to only get it on your mask, and then they patched it in with the gloves. So if you wanna run hazard protection, you will take less fire damage, or the duration will be a lot less. I do have a hazard protection build and it needs a update, but if I had the gloves in that build, it would have saved me some slots or talents that I could have used for something else. So the new edition of the gloves makes it quite helpful if you wanna run a hazard protection build. It caps at 100%, so anything over 100% hazard protection won't help you in your build. Then we get health on kill. This only rolls on a couple of things. I did take a look at a few sources, since some sources say you can get it on basically all of your gear and some say you don't. So I went in game and I looked a bit around, and I could only find it on my mask and my holster. But I might be wrong here, but if you want health on kill, let's say health on kill is basically good if you need to 2v1. Let's say you down one guy and you need some health back, then you can obviously get the kill and get some health back. Same goes for armor on kill, which will help you with versing 2 people at once. If you're good enough, you kill the one guy, you get some armor back or health, and you should be able to take on both. So you only get this on your mask and your holster, the health on kill. Second is the armor on kill, which you will only be able to get on your holster. Quite good. Also, same versus 2 people is quite good. Now for damage to elites. At the moment you only get it on your mask. It's quite good for PvE content, obviously, especially for the raid. I think you can get like 50% on this, maybe more. But yeah, at the moment the highest that I've got was 42. So damage to elite is pretty good for a PvE build. Only get it on your mask. Then we get to headshot damage. Now headshot damage is pretty special since it's multiplicative. So if you aim for the head and you've got some headshot damage, you're gonna do a lot of damage if you got that other damage buffs that you can get on your backpack and your chest. Headshot damage only you get it only on your chest. So definitely if you can, add it to your chest. I always go for this as well. I look out for this. Usually I go for a piece with headshot damage, weapon damage, and then for some armor. Hopefully I get some armor there as well. Maybe crit as well if you wanna run a crit build, but then you're gonna have a lot of raids. And then finally we get the weapon type damage. Now weapon type damage only spawns on your gloves, or only rolls on your gloves. Let's say you want shotgun damage, then it only comes on your gloves. Let's say you want assault rifle damage, only comes on your gloves. And let's say you main LMG, only comes on your gloves again. As you can see, there's a theme here. Let's say you use any type of weapon, it will come on your gloves. I wish you could get only weapon damage on your gloves, but you only get weapon type damage on your gloves. And that's the final piece that will roll. So I hope you can see a theme here. You can see not all pieces will roll just any attribute. You will actually have to look out for the types that you want. I hope this guide was helpful. If it was helpful, please give it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, then you can subscribe. Thank you for watching.